Hi, I'm Danny Brown with Myriad Real Estate Group here with this week's 5. This week we're covering record jobs growth, doesn't tell the entire story, a whole new set of problems for the economy, the death of the 60/40 portfolio, real estate news, and mortgages. Number 1, record jobs growth. As previously reported, the U.S. has lost over 20 million jobs, but the good news is, as of mid-June, it has gained over 7 million of those jobs back. Last month, over 4.8 million jobs were added back into the economy, which smashed all expectations. This new report brings the unemployment rate down to 11.1%. While these numbers are a huge step in the right direction, this number does not tell the whole story. The growth has not been felt evenly, as the black unemployment rate has remained flat at 15.4%. The unemployment rate also reported monthly and is a lagging indicator of what is taking place in the marketplace, while new unemployment claims filed is a leading indicator. I reported last week that new claims were at a record high. The fear is that these recent job losses will be more permanent than temporary, like those that took place at the beginning of the crisis. Some of these claims may also have been from people who were laid off weeks ago, but were only just able to file due to the overloaded and backlogged system. You must also ask yourself how many of these jobs were from the beginning of the month versus now. Could these numbers have been before many states started seeing major surges in COVID cases? Not to mention many states have again started rolling back reopening, and some have even started closing again. Currently, 40% of the country lives in a state where the opening is being rolled back in some way. We will not know the answers to some of these questions until the jobs numbers report for July comes out in early August. Number 2. The economy has a whole new set of problems. Real-time economic indicators on job listings, credit card spending, retail foot traffic, and more are starting to suggest that the economy has begun to weaken again. The Times reports, after recovering rapidly from mid-April through mid-June, the economy has shown signs of sputtering in the past 2 weeks. The main reason appears to be the resurgence of the virus as states and cities start to shut down different sectors again. We are also going to see the first run of PPP money expiring, which begs the question, what will these businesses do when they do not have this money to rely on? Will they start laying people off and create a second wave of layoffs? Currently, we're expecting to see those second wave of layoffs occur as we see multiple major Fortune 500 companies start to file for bankruptcy. So far, the number of bankruptcies filed this year has already surpassed that of 2008, and that's with the Payment Protection Program in place. Are economists being too pessimistic, or will we start to see a leveling off in the economy? So far, the economy has proven to be resilient and has constantly been beating economists' expectations. I, for one, hope that continues. Number 3, death of the 60/40 portfolio. As you may or may not know, a long-proven strategy amongst less risky investors has been a portfolio made up of 60% stocks and 40% bonds. If you had a portfolio of this makeup, you would have made 8.6% dating back to 1926. This portfolio has weathered the Great Depression, World Wars, the dot-com bubble, the financial collapse of 2008, and numerous recessions. But this retirement strategy is dead in 2020, as some are reporting, due to the exceptionally low yields on bonds and in some cases even negative yields. This portfolio went back into the green by about 0.8% with the historic rise in equities and is currently beating out the S&P 500, which is still down 3.6%. This portfolio just went back into the green by about 0.8% with the historic rise in equities and is currently beating out the S&P 500, which is still down 3.6% this year. Number 4, real estate news. Currently, there are 8,788 active listings versus 15,422 last year. That's down a whopping 43.2% and down 26.5% from last month. Homes under contract are currently at 13,424 versus 11,230 last year, which is up 19.5% and up 7.6% from last month. Monthly sales for June were at 9,702 versus 9,476 last year. That's up 2.5%. The monthly average sales price per square foot is $182.71, and the monthly median sales price is currently at $305,000, where it was $279,000 last year. That's up almost 10%. As I have been reporting, the real estate market in the greater Phoenix area is very much a seller's market. If you are active in the market, it certainly feels like there are a ton of buyers right now. However, the demand for homes is right where it should be. If you're a seller, you are probably receiving multiple offers for your home, while if you are a buyer, you're constantly bidding against other buyers for homes. The cause of this is due to a severe lack of supply throughout the greater Phoenix area. When markets are at these extremes, it makes me a little nervous as the pendulum always swings in the other directions as markets constantly seek to find balance. And we are very much out of balance right now. I should note that we were headed this way pre-COVID. All COVID did was provide a window of opportunity for those buyers that were smart enough to act, which I was suggesting buyers do back in March. What will cause the seller's market to end, and will the change be gentle and smooth, or will it be violent and drastic? The fact is, no one really knows. I, for one, hope that we will see a slow shift back to a more balanced market. Eventually, values for homes will start to hit points where people who have been considered selling start to cash out. I'm currently fielding calls from homeowners asking me that very question: should I sell and cash out of my home? As I stated, markets are constantly seeking balance, so relief will eventually come and people will eventually start to sell their homes as values continue to increase. Not only that, but the employment rate in the country is still extremely high, and many of those people will not get their jobs back right away. Some of these people are homeowners and will need to sell their home to provide for their families. I do not expect to see a flood of homes hitting the market all at once, though. If you're a buyer, be patient and persevere. If you're a seller, enjoy the multiple offers and get the best deal you possibly can. Number 5, mortgage news. After 2 months of strong growth, mortgage applications declined for the second week in a row, with purchasing and refinancing declining by 1.3% and 2.2% respectively. Resurgent in COVID-19 cases, waning pent-up demand, and low housing supply were all cited as the possible causes to that. Currently, rates on a 30-year fixed mortgage are hovering right around 3%, while a 15-year fixed rate is right in the mid-2s. Those rates are phenomenal right now, and if you have the ability, you should definitely try and lock in. And that's this week's 5. If there are any topics you would like me to cover, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week.